Good evening and welcome to tonight's Financial Friday. We are back again, guys. Yes, we are. We're going to be looking at the orb. We are on fire because I am on holidays. So I'm super stoked. So let's get into the charts. Alright, so we are in the charts. I'm not ready. See, New York has opened. Let's make sure we are on the 15 minutes today. 15 minutes. We got 2 minutes left. So hope you guys have been all super well over the past week. Having a great week. Living your best life. So when those 2 minutes are up, we are going to mark up our box. Our box is going. Alrighty. Just being a patient for our 15-minute candle to form. That's what we're doing. Let's see what is gold doing. Gold also just opened. Let me grab my phone. Now we can mark out our boxes. The candle has just closed. The candle has just closed, everybody, and we are going to mark out our 15-minute orb. One box. This was the London orb. I marked it out already, so let's make this one smaller. So we have automatically entered the trade there because it has already broken the orb on the 15 minutes for GBP and USD. We are placing 3 different trades. We are placing 3 different trades today. Let's see if any of them get us in. Patience, guys. Remember patience. GDP lags 2 million behind sometimes. Okay, you could have put your buy limit order here. I decided not to take this trade because I've got two positions. Try to control my position sometimes just because I don't want to get too ahead of myself. So that's what I do. Also, because we have news a little bit later, we want to be out of this trade in the next 20 minutes. We want to be out. We want to be out. The video shots. So for me, it has gone to cancel of position. So as you can see, basically after you get a lot of practice, a lot of time in the market, you can also learn to calm your nerves, calm your psychology, think about it, because now you've gotten used to what you do, how you see the market, okay, what is this now showing us, so like you can see what is the next direction, because obviously it was going in a contract, right? High, high, low, high, high, low, high, lower high, lower low, higher high, lower high, lower low, higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Now it's carrying on. So you can see that basically, like as I said before, like this doesn't work all the time. Not all trades go through, but if you could keep consistent to your rules, to how you set up everything, have a look at the market pre market open if you need. Also, just take your time with yourself. Also be patient with yourself, because so many of the times we want to make the money like now, and it honestly takes time for you to control your emotions. Like even me last week, I took the trade too early, but it went my way. So you just gotta basically be patient, trust your process, and those sort of things. And where you feel comfortable in, how can I say, if you want to move your stop loss, you can to break even, or like I said before, just a little bit into profit so that you're not walking away from a trade empty-handed. Or if you want to then leave it at break even, you're more than welcome to do that. I know a lot of people do. Or you could just leave your stop loss where it is and just trust that, like the that your process and is going to go through, so that's basically what sometimes you just got to make sure that you like looking at and stuff like that. So yeah. I'm going to move my stop loss down. This here. But I don't want to be in the trade if it goes past there. You got me. Pre-market news got me. Oh, man. See what happens when you trade just before news, guys. This is what happens when you trade just before news. See, the news has not come out yet, but because it's 10 minutes left, it stopped me out like that. So yeah, so this is a pure example of what you should be aware of when you are trading, because this can sometimes happen, you know, like it's going in your direction and all of a sudden a big pre-market news candle gets you out of the trade, you know. And now guess what, came right into this change of character position, probably to go down again. But because it's news and I stick to my rules, I don't trade news, so I will just watch it. And we can watch together, guys. Is it going to continue up or is it going to continue down? So yeah. So does if gold is going up, if the financial is going up, gold must be going down. Look at that. See what happens when you trade news? What happens when you trade news? So basically, that's what I can show you tonight. When you trade news, you know what? You get stomped out and annihilated. And that's not what we want in trading, right? So sometimes you can be right about the trade, you can be right about anything, but you still get stopped out, right? You still make mistakes. And so this is a consistently learning journey of whether you're right or you're wrong. Stick to what you know and what your strategy is, right? Okay, so it's just a short one tonight. I think this was actually turned out to be good because then I could show you what happens actually when you how can I say, don't prepare for news events, you know, because I think sometimes we forget when news is coming out, and so that sometimes this can actually happen. Will it go back up? Is it going back up, or is it continuing to go back down? Let's take a little Phoebe and see. Has it hit the mark? Yep, my 79% mark. Interesting. Interesting. Very, very interesting. And vice versa. We can do that as well. Here. The most one from here to here. Oh, it went way above that. So I wonder if that's just going to cause it to continue to going up. What do you guys think in the chat? Do you think it's gonna go up? Continue to go up? Ask yourself these questions. Always good to ask yourself these questions. Is it gonna come down back into this lovely box to go up, or is it going to go through this box, literally through this box, just go down here, box, bottom. You know, this is the sort of thing you start to get used to. Just looking at the market, not trading the news, definitely not trading the time. You know, so mistakes are made. You learn from your mistakes. You journal your mistakes. So yeah. So, well, we leave this on for a little bit. I will be back. I need to go. Go. I have seen where my mistakes are. Here, we're going in a downtrend, right? But we haven't had a confirmation if it is going to go back into an uptrend yet for this one. So I should have been patient to wait for the confirmation. That's what I should have done in both situations. I was too quick tonight because this is also going in an uptrend, and I should have expected that because look, and we hadn't had a confirmation or a change of character to say it is going in the other direction. So I made a mistake. But that's what happens when you learn something. You make mistakes. That's not new, sorry. You make mistakes when you make a couple of mistakes for sure. You know, so that's why I also consistently paper trade, because then I can see where are my mistakes, what can I change, what can I improve, you know. So that's why I just paper trade, because I want to trade with real money when I feel confident to trade with real money. And that has things to do with psychology, things to do with my strategy. Is it right? Is it the best for me, you know, in my situation? And those are all those sort of things that you guys need to think about. You know, is it the best strategy for you, or is it not the best strategy for you? You know, because that's the thing, is like, you got to find your strategy that works for you. You know, like everybody has a different type of trading style, and that's why for me, people that trade liquidity, people that trade the old, people that trade supply and demand, people that trade support and resistance, it does work. You know, you've just got to find the trading strategy that works for you, and so that's the main thing, that you got to feel comfortable, and it's got to make sense to you. It doesn't need to make sense to anyone else. If you're pulling money out of the market and that works for you, that's what you got to do.